There are two words that have puzzled the entire human race for thousands of years. That's infinity. When we say the universe is infinite,
when the numbers are infinite,
what were we talking about? If you think infinity is just big, very big,
then you are far from understanding.
His true horror. For humans to truly understand what the universe is all about, the meaning of the word infinite,
because infinity is also divided into many
the next
atoms.
few minutes, I'll take you from the tiniest atom to the furthest reaches of the universe.
Leapfrog mathematics.
Physics, cosmology, even philosophy.
Completely redefine your view of the universe.
In the breath you just inhaled, contains approximately 5.10 billion meta-characters. Isn't that amazing?
But the number of atoms in your body is even more
700 million, 100 million.
7 followed by 27 zeros.
And the number of atoms on the entire Earth.
It actually reached 110.
1 is followed by 50 zeros. You might think,
Now, that's an unbelievable number.
but on a cosmic scale, it's nothing at all. Because scientists speculate that
in the universe we can observe,
the number of atoms reaches the power of 10 to the
that means
82nd.
there are 82 zeros after 1.
And here's what's even
In the
crazier.
universe,
Completely divided into the smallest unit Planck
you could
space.
end up with 10 to the power of 185.
That is, with a full 185 zeros behind it.
Even so exaggerated,
This is still not the limit of human imagination.
because mathematicians tell us
There's
that
a number that's even weirder than this.
scarier.
Enough to destroy your entire understanding of
His name
numbers.
is Tree 3.
What the hell is Tree 3? Why is he better than you just heard?
All the numbers are more frightening.
Mathematicians designed a simple game. It's called the tree game. The rules are simple.
You first take some colored seeds and grow a tree.
Each end of the tree.
Seeds in the palm of your hand continue to expand.
But here's the thing.
The first tree has at most 1 seed,
The second tree has up to 2 seeds.
and so on.
The number of seeds per tree is limited. At the same time, every new tree grows.
Must be completely different from the previous tree.
As long as there is a
Game
repetition.
over now.
Mathematicians discovered that
When you only have seeds of one color,
the game is almost over as soon as it starts. In the case of 2 colors, it can only go up to the third tree at most. But when 3 colors are reached, that is tree 30. It became incredibly complicated. Mathematicians proved,
this game will definitely end at some point.
but that was the point. They couldn't figure out how many trees they wanted,
To terminate,
because that's an unimaginable number, let alone calculate. Physicists even joke that if you are really a picture,
get that number in your head.
just this amount of
It causes
information,
your brain to collapse directly.
even form a black hole. The scary thing is,
Although Blow 3 is so huge,
weird to imagine, but he is still a limited number.
he is compared to the true infinity.
The gap is much wider than we thought. Now you might be wondering,
Since this blows 3,
it's so big it breaks your brain.
how exaggerated should the true infinity be?
Actually,
The terrible thing about infinity is not that
it's that it never ends. That is to say,
wherever you count,
it always has the next number after it.
never reach an end.
But here's the thing.
If the universe itself is truly infinite,
What does big mean? This means that the universe is not just too big to
it means
imagine.
that in this infinite universe,
Everything you can think of,
will happen countless times.
there will even be countless,
The exact same person as you.
experiencing the exact same life countless times. Because in the face of infinity,
Any small probability event is bound to keep repeating.
forever. It sounds incredible. But it is the logical dilemma behind true infinity.
Because of this,
Infinity is not just a big number or large space.
it is a powerful tool that can subvert
The ultimate
reality.
concept of all logic and
The
reason.
more we try to understand him,
The smaller you feel. And limitations.
however, humans are confused and afraid of the infinite.
It didn't just appear today. As early as 2,500
Ancient
years
Greeks
ago.
had the concept of an infinite
Totally
quantity.
terrified.
They were created by famous
A
mathematicians.
mysterious organization founded by
Pythagoras
Douglas.
School.
These are people who believe deeply in numbers and
Represents the
geometry.
absolute order of the
They admire
universe.
perfect whole number
Think of
proportions,
these neat numbers.
embodying the truth behind everything in the universe.
However, the development of
It's not nearly as beautiful as they imagined.
they are researching.
When the simplest square is diagonal, suddenly realize that no matter how you calculate,
Use an integer,
or
simple fractions to accurately express the length
this
of
gave
the
birth to a
diagonal.
kind of them. They're called irrational numbers.
Today we call it the 5-mile number.
This kind of
No
number,
ratio of any to integers can be
exact
used.
representation, his fractional part extends infinitely. It never ends. This seemingly trivial finding
But like a bolt from the blue,
directly destroyed
the
Pythagoras.
perfect belief in the order of the universe.
They can't accept these infinite continuations.
Chaotic numbers,
It's a manifestation of some kind of evil and imperfection.
almost at the same time.
Another philosopher,
He
Zinnuo,
also put forward the famous Norbert theory.
he said you had to walk a distance. Must finish half first.
Then do the remaining half.
Another half. So keep dividing. You will face the reality of infinite
And
partitions.
never reach the end.
This seems logical. But it cannot be infinitely divided by rational
The philosophers
explanation.
of the time were extremely disturbed,
even try to escape or deny the existence of the infinite.
visible infinity from the date of birth.
It has already begun to challenge human intelligence. Fascinating and terrifying. However, the anxiety of philosophers,
Stop mathematicians from exploring infinity.
late 19th century,
German mathematician Cantor
decided to confront.
the infinite puzzle that has puzzled philosophers for over
He stopped
3,000
hiding.
years.
I'm trying to do it mathematically. To truly define and understand the essence of infinity.
Cantor's most important discovery was
Infinity is not a single concept.
he actually exists on a hierarchy.
He pointed out that the natural number 1234 has an infinite number, and even 2468 has an infinite number of.
You might think
There must be more natural numbers than even numbers.
Cantor was surprised to find that this was not the case.
Both sets are countable infinite. That means they can match 1 to 1. Every natural number.
Can find an even number that matches it.
This means that the two sets are the same size.
Are the most basic infinity.
But then, Cantor's discovery.
It shocked the entire mathematical community.
He proved the infinity of real
For
numbers,
example, the
all
number
decimals
99,
between 2.
far beyond the infinite levels of natural numbers.
It doesn't correspond to the natural numbers at all.
This is innumerable infinity.
Then all the infinity we discussed earlier.
Higher.
In other words,
Wireless is not just about size.
and here's what's even
There are
scarier.
different levels of wireless.
And, even if you grasp the differences between the two types of
You can
wireless,
still find higher than uncountable wireless.
more complex wireless collections,
This means that wireless is more than just a concept.
it's more like an endless staircase. There will always be higher
Waiting
wireless.
for you above.
These amazing
It had
discoveries.
a huge impact on the mathematics community.
Cantor himself has been facing this for a long
Very
time,
complex theories.
eventually on the verge of a mental
He even had
breakdown.
to be admitted to a mental hospital in his later
This
years.
shows that, the concept of
It's
infinity,
not just a philosophical problem.
he challenged him more directly.
The limits of human reason and psychology.
Mathematicians' study of infinity.
It's enough to make humanity despair.
But here's what's even more
In
shocking.
the physical world, I
Scientists,
have discovered an infinite phenomenon that
such as
actually
black
exists.
holes and the starting point of the Big
What
Bang.
does this mean?
Wireless really might be more than just an abstraction. It's real. What about phenomena that actually exist in our
According
universe?
to the predictions of modern
At the
physics,
center of a black
there's
hole,
something called a starting point.
the density of this starting point will increase infinitely,
Infinitely.
a place where the laws of physics completely fail,
That's right. Infinitely increasing and infinitely contracting.
and all our physical formulas and logic.
It's completely meaningless here.
And when we return to the beginning of the
It's called
universe,
the Big Bang.
the problem becomes more intractable.
The Big Bang theory tells us that
The beginning of the universe,
all matter
energy and space,
have been compressed to an infinitely small.
in an infinitely dense point. In other words,
the universe itself.
it may be born from the starting point of the restricted
But
secret.
here's the thing.
This true infinity.
What does it really mean in the physical world?
Could it be that,
The universe does allow for infinity, and its counter.
does logic completely fail exist? Or is it infinite? Just means,
Our current theory is actually incomplete.
can't really describe the original state of the universe.
Scientists are still unable to provide a definitive answer.
They have no choice but to admit,
Somewhere in the universe,
such as black holes and the starting point of the Big
physics
Bang,
as we know it,
it has indeed expired. The infinity of this reality,
forced us to revisit.
maybe,
Humans' fear of infinity is not without reason.
perhaps infinity really exists in the universe.
It's just that we don't fully understand him yet.
But if infinity really exists in the universe,
And the universe itself is infinite.
so the next question we face will be weirder than all previous questions.
Crazier.
Because of an infinite universe, means everything you can imagine can be real. Happens an infinite number of
And
times.
not only that,
In such a universe, it could even happen.
there are countless people who are exactly like
They
you.
share the same memories with you.
Same idea.
Even at this moment.
You all feel the same deep down.
And here's what's even weirder.
According to quantum mechanics,
In this universe,
there may be even more bizarre phenomena.
take, for example, the famous Boltzmann theory of the brain.
Put in an infinite amount of time.
It may be random in the void.
Generate a complete human brain.
This brain has real memories, consciousness, even sensory
He
experience.
doesn't have a body.
No history,
They're not out in the real world.
just floating in the universe.
Just a consciousness born out of thin air.
Even this moment you're experiencing right now,
Can't rule out.
it's really just a brain that just appeared out of
It's
nowhere.
a random hallucination.
Now you might think that's absurd. But in a truly infinite universe,
Not only could this happen,
it's bound to happen. No matter how small the
on the
possibility,
scale of the infinite universe,
will become absolutely inevitable.
this logical dilemma and philosophical fear.
That is the deepest horror of infinity. He forced us to rethink one's own reality, even doubt the authenticity of our own existence. When we truly realize
The horror and absurdity behind infinity.
confusion and despair are inevitable. Is human intelligence really capable of understanding
How should we
infinity?
deal with ourselves in the face of infinity?
But think about it. Human history.
In fact, it is constantly facing the unknown.
Every time we find someone who seems
The limit
to,
is insurmountable.
he tends to become a human mind.
And the starting point of the progress
Infinity is
realization.
exactly the same,
Although he brings us fear and powerlessness.
but it also constantly drives us to
To
challenge.
explore from the ancient Greek philosophers.
Facing infinite fear for the first time,
Faith of Belagris.
shaken by irrational numbers,
From Cantor.
bravely step into the infinite mathematical
Modern
abyss,
physicists have to face.
the starting point and the limit of black
Every
holes.
time humans face infinity.
We all feel
The
ourselves,
smallness and limitation.
but it also always inspires.
Unprecedented courage and curiosity.
Actually,
It is this spirit of knowing the impossible.
it's what drives us to explore.
Beyond our own limitations.